Hi, it's Madeline, and in this video we're going to be learning corner to corner crochet, or C2C. In order to complete this, you'll need to know the chain, the slip stitch, and the double crochet. We're going to start with a slip knot on our hook and then chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to place a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. And then you're going to place a double crochet in the next 2. 1 and 2. Now, we've just completed our first tile. So this is going to be the corner, and then we're going to go diagonally up from here. So to get to the next row, you're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. And then double crochet into the next 2. Now, in order to make this face the way you need it to go, you're going to twist your work so that your first row, your corner here, the wrong side is facing you, and you're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 spot that you did from the previous row. You're then going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then place 3 double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, 3. Now you have 2 rows completed, 1 and 2. To start the next row, you're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, and then the next 2 as well. 1, 2, and 3. Again, you're going to twist your work so the wrong side of the last row is facing you, and you're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space that you created from the previous row. You're then going to chain 3 and place 3 more double crochets into that same space. 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to slip stitch to the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then place 3 more double crochets into that space. 2 and 3. So now you have 3 rows here. We're going to do 2 more rows, and then by that point you'll have the hang of it, and then I'll show you the decrease. So we're going to start the 4th row, which is a chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, and then the next 2 as well. Turn your work so the wrong side of the last row is facing you, and you're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space that you created from the previous row. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 more double crochets into this space. You're going to then slip stitch into this chain 3 space from the previous row. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to place 3 more double crochets into that same space. 2 and 3. Slip stitch into the chain 3 space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So this is what it looks like so far. We're going to do one more row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. And then double crochet into the next 2. Turn your work so the wrong side of the previous row is facing you. Slip stitch into that chain 3 space. Chain 3. And then 3 double crochets. Slip stitch into the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, 3 double crochets. So you would just continue this pattern where the only time you're chaining 6 and then doing a slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook is when you're beginning a row. Each other time it's a slip stitch into that chain 3 space from the previous row, and then a chain 3 and 3 double crochets. So this is what we look like so far on this. Our rows are counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to go ahead and create our decrease now. So you just keep continuing this as long as you want it. So when you get to the end, you chain 6, double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, and then the next 2, and then continue on with that pattern. Now, there's 2 ways to do a decrease. The first way, because you don't want to add any more tiles here, you will slip stitch in each of these stitches, so 3 slip stitches, and then you will slip stitch into the chain 3 space, and then you will chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and place 3 double crochets. So that is one way to do it. Now, the method that I prefer is when I get to the corner and I want to start my decrease, I chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then I slip stitch into that space. I feel like it gives a more consistent look across. Then I chain 3 again and place 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space from the previous row. And then I would just slip stitch to this next one, chain 3, place 3 double crochets. So the middle parts of the decrease are the same. Slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochets. Slip stitch, chain 3, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So this is the end of my row here. So what I'm going to do at the end of my row here, I'm not going to slip stitch into that space. I'm going to slip stitch into the actual chain. I find it gives a much smoother look. So now just to count, make sure we're on track. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our center tile, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So we have 4 and then our center tile on each side. So I know that I'm a complete square. If you wanted to make this a rectangle, you could play with the the edges to where you added more on one side but stopped on the other side, so it would be more of a rectangle instead of a square. So again, that decrease is you either turn and then you slip stitch into the next 3 and then slip stitch into the chain 3 space, or you chain 3, turn, and then slip stitch into this chain 3 space from the previous row, and then you're going to chain 3 and 3 double crochets into that same chain 3 space from the previous row. Slip stitch to the chain 3 space from the previous row, you chain 3 and 3 double crochets. 2, 3. Slip stitch, chain 3, and place 3 double crochets. Now we're at our next end here, so I'm going to slip stitch into that top chain instead of into the space. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn, and just do a slip stitch right to that chain 3 space. Chain 3, 3 double crochets, slip stitch into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. And then this is my last one, so I'm going to slip stitch into the chain, not the space of the chain. Chain 3, turn, slip stitch into that chain 3 space, chain 3, and place 3 double crochets. And this is our last one, so we're just going to slip stitch into that top chain from the chain 3 space. And that's it. So this is an example of if I did the slip stitch. You can't really see the slip stitches, but I see them a little bit, like in through here. I just don't feel like it's as clean of an edge on doing this. And whichever way you feel looks nicer, that would be the front side of your work. And there's tons of programs that actually can help you create, because you can do color changes on these, you can do graph GANs with these, and do all different types of designs and patterns. So it's really, really a fun stitch to know. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I will see you next time, and thank you so much for watching.